Tonight on NewsLink Indiana, President Trump's one-time campaign chairman and his top associate are pleading not guilty to FBI charges. We have the latest coming up.
And Muncie sounds off how a popular electric company could be taking more from your wallets.
And a freeze warning is in effect for tonight. I'll let you know how that'll affect you coming up.
From Ball State Unified Media, this is NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Emerson Lehman.
And I'm Esther Bauer. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We begin tonight with national news. Two former Trump campaign officials turned themselves in to federal authorities this morning as the first arrests are made in Robert Mueller's probe.
Karen Kaifa has the latest developments from Washington.
The White House on Monday distancing themselves from the indictments of former Trump campaign officials Paul Manafort and Rick Gates.
Today's announcement has nothing to do with the president, has nothing to do with the president's campaign or campaign activity.
Manafort and Gates pleaded not guilty in federal district court in Washington Monday afternoon after surrendering to federal authorities earlier in the day.
I think you all saw today that President Donald Trump was correct. There is no evidence that Mr. Manafort or the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government.
These initial charges do not cover any activities related to the 2016 campaign, but it's possible additional charges could come later. The indictment against Manafort and Gates contains 12 counts, including conspiracy against the United States, conspiracy to launder money, unregistered agent of a foreign principal, false and misleading U.S. Foreign Agents Registration Act statements, false statements, and 7 counts of failure to file reports of foreign bank and financial accounts. Additionally, newly unsealed records today show that George Papadopoulos, a former foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign, has pleaded guilty for making false statements to the FBI. Trump's attorney, Jay Sekulow, said the president will not interfere as Mueller continues his work.
The president is not interfering with Special Counsel Mueller's position. He's not firing the special counsel. He said that before. I'm not concerned about where this goes. Obviously, I think one thing this does establish is special counsel's moving expeditiously, and that's, I think, good for the country and good for the president.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
And also in Washington today, a federal judge has blocked parts of the Trump administration's transgender military ban. The ruling states that the plaintiffs have established that the ban injures transgender people and imposes inequality on them. Trump took to Twitter to share his intentions. The block forbids the military from enforcing President Trump's directive to prohibit transgender people from enlisting or re-enlisting. The court upheld the portion of the directive that blocks military personnel from having sex reassignment surgery. The plaintiffs are likely to be successful in arguing that the ban violates their Fifth Amendment right to due process.
People in Indiana now have a better grasp on what the Trump administration is doing to fight the opioid crisis. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is the chairman for President Trump's Commission on Combating Drug Addiction and the Opioid Crisis. He came to Indianapolis today to speak at the 8th Annual Prescription Drug Abuse Symposium put on by Attorney General Curtis Hill. Christie spoke on the impact the opioid crisis has had on the country, but also set clear goals for opioid companies.
Those companies have now committed to an unprecedented partnership with the National Institutes of Health to jointly together develop non-opioid pain medication and more medication-assisted treatment for addicts so we can help people not get hooked in the first place, and when they do, get them treatment to turn this into a chronic disease, not a deadly one.
And Christie said a key to fighting the opioid crisis is for people not to expect to be totally pain-free after taking medication.
All right, well, back here locally, the city of Muncie and Delaware County will use a portion of state matching grants to help repave roads and rebuild bridges. Muncie received more than $750,000 and Delaware County received more than $600,000. The money comes from the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program that has awarded $150 million overall. The additional funding comes from Governor Eric Holcomb's Next Level Roads initiative. A full list of Indiana cities and counties that received funds is available at our website at ballstatedaily.com. And Esther, so great to see all those roads getting repaved, fixed up. A lot of them had some water on them today with all this rain.
Yeah, it was definitely a little wet outside. I found myself getting to class a lot faster because I didn't want to be stuck in the rain. So Kaylee, as the night is coming to a close, tell us what the weather is going to be like.
Well, this evening, Esther and Emerson, we're not going to see that much rain. Maybe just a few isolated showers or so. Currently, we're sitting at 44 degrees in Muncie, west-south winds at around 8 miles per hour, making it feel like 40 degrees outside with a few little rain showers out there, but nothing to be concerned about throughout the evening. Across the rest of the state, Fort Wayne and Kokomo sitting at 42 degrees, as well as Lafayette. So definitely a chilly night ahead. I'll be explaining the freeze warning that goes into effect at around 4 a.m. this evening, as well as your Halloween forecast, which looks to be dry, so that'll be good, but it's just a few chilly temperatures. But a warm-up is in store, so I'll let you know when that'll be happening coming up in my full weather forecast.
All right, Kaylee, we're looking forward to hearing more. Thanks so much. Well, electric bills in Muncie may be getting more expensive in the near future. Indiana Michigan Power proposed a raise in monthly expenses for customers in order to pay for aging infrastructure and provide greener energy sources. A public hearing was held today for community members to give their opinions on the proposal, and most were not supportive of this. The new prices would be close to $27 more a month than what they are now. But Indiana Michigan Power Director of Communications and Government Affairs, Brian Bergsma, says the more expensive prices are necessary to get customers what they want.
Customers are asking for greener technologies. They're asking for better reliability, and those are things that we believe need to happen for their benefit. Unfortunately, that does cost money, and we understand that, and it's something that we take very serious as well.
Now, the city government has until November 7th to accept, deny, or change Indiana Michigan's power proposal.
And a new Indiana study says the lack of access to high-quality broadband technology in rural Indiana is having a negative effect on human development. The authors looked at factors of human development such as health, education, and income. The study says there are several rural Indiana counties that are already struggling with those factors. Co-author Michael Hicks is the Business and Economic Research Director and says 10 or 15 years ago having broadband was optional. However, today it is difficult not to have.
Today it's very much more difficult to be offline. You're not connected through social media, for Facebook, for example. Schools communicate information over websites. They don't send slips home with their kids anymore. If you're trying to make a doctor's appointment or update a dental appointment, that's usually done through either a website or through a text that requires some sort of telecommunications.
Hicks stressed without this broadband technology, it's much more difficult to be connected with the outside world. And moving on, a retired Ball State professor is receiving an award of a lifetime, and one former student says he's not the least bit surprised.
And here to tell us more is NewsLink Indiana reporter Cameron DeBlasio. Cameron, how are we doing?
Pretty good, guys. Good evening. Yeah, an award of a lifetime indeed. The Indiana Broadcasters Association named Steve Bell as a recipient of its Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, the Ball Endowed Telecommunications Chair Emeritus will be recognized for his work in the news industry that spanned more than 3 decades. As a national and local reporter, Bell covered the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and was on the scene when Robert Kennedy was shot in 1968. He then became the first anchor of ABC's Good Morning America newscast in 1975. Bell came to Ball State in 1992 and was named the first Edmund F. and Virginia B. Ball Endowed Chair of Telecommunications. He taught in the department for 15 years before retiring in 2007. Now, former student Scott Hums is now the Director of Digital Content at WTHR in Indianapolis, and he says Bell is a great choice for the award not only for his work in the field, but also for his contributions in the classroom.
He greatly deserves this award, not just for everything that he's done in the build up to his time at Ball State, but he spent a lot of time molding young journalists and is a really big part of a lot of people's lives who are now in the industry.
And definitely a man who made a mark both on his field and the people in it. Guys, now Bell will be receiving that award this Friday at the Indiana Broadcasters Conference in Carmel.
Well, he definitely did make a mark, and I would say, guys, we have some pretty big shoes to try to fill.
Absolutely, yeah, he set the bar pretty high.
You know, we had Steve Bell, he spoke here at campus last year, guys. It was so cool to hear him speak. It was really cool to just experience that. Very,
very awesome story. Cameron, thanks so much. All right, guys, well, next on NewsLink, find out how you can celebrate Halloween right here at Ball State.
Plus, a service project is helping students in need right here in Muncie. That's ahead.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Halloween is in the air, and if you are looking for thrills and chills right here on campus, tomorrow the Ball State Student Honors Council and Ball State Student Government Association is putting on fear.
That's right. Now, NewsLink Indiana's Ross Cooper is live at the Honors House with more. Ross?
That's right, guys. Coming up tomorrow night at 8 o'clock at the Ball State Honors House in this very room. It's going to go from nice and pleasant to dark and horrifying in a matter of minutes. I'm here with the Ball State Honors Council, and to my left here is President of the Council, Marin Orchard. Marin, tomorrow, without giving away too much detail, what can you tell us is going to happen throughout this house tomorrow?
Well, the event starts at 8 o'clock, and there's going to be a bit of a line, so get here early. We're cutting off the line at 10:30, but once you're in the house, we're going to wind you throughout a couple rooms, up the stairs, back down the stairs, and you can pretty much expect to confront your biggest fears.
So biggest fears, obviously, that's people like to be scared and stuff, but what is one thing about this that makes this venue very special?
It's a really special event because it's one of the few times that we invite the whole student honor or the student body to come to the house. So it's really cool to let everyone see what the Honors College is all about through one of our most creative and fun events.
Okay. And we were talking earlier a little bit too. You're also paired with somebody for this event, right?
Yes, we are partnered with SGA. They help us sponsor the event.
That is really cool. Now, Eric, students, if they're worried about spending money or anything, what can you tell them not to worry about?
Well, I'm really happy to say that it's free to all Ball State students, so anyone can come if they'd like.
Okay, like again, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock here at the Ball State Honors House. If you think you can handle the scare, come on out. Live in Muncie, Ross Cooper, NewsLink, Indiana.
All right, Ross, thanks so much. Now, Fear will start at 8 o'clock tomorrow night and will be open until 11 p.m.
Such a cool event the rest of them. You just have to go check that out.
Pretty spooky for sure.
That's right. Well, kids, parents, and members of the Southside Nazarene Church gathered together for the Kidstown Project event for Serve Muncie Sunday. The Kidstown Project provides for over 160 students weekly. Together, they made snack bags for the Panther Backpack program that benefits a portion of Muncie community schools. Group leader Lauren Arbogast says the program benefits the community in multiple ways.
We baked cookies and took them to our community members like the policemen, the fire departments, nurses, stuff like that. And they were really appreciative. We just told them thank you. We appreciate all they're doing for our community.
310 bags were made and will be delivered to Southside Middle School this Friday. A really cool story there as well. Kaylee, what's coming up with the weather?
Yeah, guys, we've got a freeze warning out for this evening, so we're going to start to get pretty chilly here. So we'll be getting into the upper 30s and lower 30s by tomorrow morning. I'll break all that down coming up right after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Alrighty, now with Halloween right around the corner, Kaylee, we heard it's probably going to be dry, but it is going to be chilly.
Yes, for sure. We're going to have those dry conditions, which I think is the better part of this forecast compared to the colder temperatures that we're expecting. But you also have to bundle up the kids a little bit more in their Halloween costumes. It'll all work out. Better than carrying around the umbrella while trick-or-treating. Now, tonight is also going to be pretty chilly. We have a freeze warning out for between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That includes half of our viewing area here for NewsLink Indiana, and so if you have any plants outside, definitely bring those inside or try to cover them before they freeze and die this evening. This will be probably one of our last freeze warnings of the year, just as we're starting to get used to this transition from fall and into these winter temperatures. Tonight, expect the low to be at freezing at around 32 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and a few areas of frost could be possible in the morning, so you may have to scrape a little ice off the windshield if you've got an early commute. West winds from 10 to 20 miles per hour, so definitely feeling a little bit chillier as well with those high winds. Lows across the rest of the state. Most people seeing 30 degrees tonight. Fort Wayne, Kokomo, the city of Indianapolis, as well as Terre Haute will be reaching lows at around 30 degrees. Outlying areas of these cities, though, could be seeing temperatures in the middle to upper 20s. So definitely be aware of that this evening if you're heading out anywhere. For radar, we did see a few rain showers move throughout the area. Those have all moved eastward now. We do see a few little speckles of rain here on the radar, but nothing to be concerned about the rest of the evening. You just may see a few sprinkles on your windshield if you're heading out anywhere this evening. Now for current temperatures across the state, Muncie sitting at 44 degrees, Indianapolis sitting at 39 degrees, Kokomo, you're sitting at 42 degrees, and if you're heading out in Lafayette, you're also sitting at 42 degrees right now. Now for your Halloween forecast tomorrow, this is what you can expect. We'll reach highs tomorrow at around 44 degrees, but by the time the sun sets, we'll be in the upper 30s to lower 40s. So definitely chilly, partly cloudy. Definitely get those kids the extra jacket as they head out the door for trick-or-treating, but umbrellas will definitely not be needed. 5-day rain chances look like this. Okay, tomorrow is very dry, which is great for Halloween. Then we start to see a frontal system move through our area on Wednesday evening. That bumps up that rain chance to around a 30% probability and keeps that rain chance in play for Thursday around a 70% probability. Then that frontal system moves through, moves south, and continues to stay there for a few days, keeping those rain chances in the forecast for Friday a 40% probability, as well as Saturday a 60% probability. So let's break down those rain chances a little bit for you. Wednesday here at 9 p.m. we're seeing mostly cloudy conditions. Then as we move forward a few hours, we start to see some rain move in the forecast. So this is at midnight on Thursday, seeing a few of those heavier pockets of rain here. This is what one model is predicting for the rain. And as we move throughout the morning hours around 7 a.m., we're seeing those few spotty showers throughout the area, and those will all continue throughout the afternoon hours as well. Here's what your 7-day forecast looks like. Halloween looks great, besides a little chilly, a high of 44 degrees, 50 degrees on Wednesday, warmer though on Thursday, 63 degrees, 57 for Friday with that 40% chance of rain. Remember, Sunday is daylight savings time, so make sure to turn those clocks back an hour, but we'll be at 65 degrees, so we'll definitely be more at around average temperatures for this time of year instead of such the drastic winter temperatures that we're feeling right now.
All right, Kaylee, good information as always. Thanks so much. And Josh, what do we have coming up in sports?
Well, coming up tonight, we see what the Newcastle girls volleyball team is doing in preparation for the state championship game on Saturday. And we see how Ball State's women's soccer team fared in the first round of the MAC championship. This and more when we come back.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josh Shelton with sports. Newcastle's girls volleyball is gearing up for the state championship Saturday against Brebeuf Jesuit Preparatory School. But before their focus turns to the big game, the Trojans were making an impact on their community. The girls volleyball team, along with the Newcastle Athletic Department, hosted a trick-or-treat event for the Newcastle community. Senior Marissa Hanning believes that community support has meant everything for the team.
It means everything because this year the communities really came together to talk to us and just come support us through everything. We've really had a packed field house this year, and that hasn't happened in previous years. So it feels great to give them something back for appreciating us all year.
And that's great with Halloween coming up, but Ball State golfer Jack Cunningham received quite the honor over the weekend, being named the Mid-American Conference Golfer of the Week. This past week, he placed 4th out of 93 golfers at the ODU OBX Intercollegiate Tournament, finishing just 3 shots off the lead. Cunningham finished with a collegiate best 54-hole total of 207, which tied for 4th best in the program history. He gives credit to his teammates and coaches for pushing him to be his best, but says a lot of his success comes from his own time on the course.
Obviously, competing with your teammates, it helps, but it is individual, so it's a lot of just working hard and practicing on your own.
And the men's golf team wraps up their fall season this week, heading to Hawaii on Wednesday for the Ka'anapoli Collegiate Classic. And the Ball State women's soccer team is moving on to the MAC tournament semifinals after a 2-1 victory Sunday over Northern Illinois at the Briner Sports Complex. And Ball State was ranked 2nd, Northern Illinois in the number 7 spot. The Huskies, though, beat the Cards early in the year 2-3 in overtime. Lauren Roll here. She's going to beat her defender with a move to the left and then finish it off with a hot shot into the bottom right corner. Roll getting her 5th goal of the season. 7 minutes later, though, Julio Elvbo runs over the ball, and now she's going to get a pass from Guerrero. She's going to cross it in, goes off a Husky defender into the goal. 5th score of the year for Elvbo, and that gives the Cardinals a 2-goal advantage. But here's Northern Illinois. A shot from Allie Ingman fires into the top part of the goal. Ball State, though, will take on Toledo after winning that game in Kent, Ohio. And so the top 4 teams of all the tournament moved on. They played Toledo, who they tied earlier in the year, but they'll have a chance to beat them this week.
Awesome.
All right, well, thank you very much, Josh. We'll certainly be cheering the Cardinals on this weekend.
Yes, we
and
will.
after the break, we'll get the kids ready for Halloween trick-or-treating tomorrow.
And stay with us because we're going to take one final look at the weather.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. While a Muncie Motorcycle Club is running over stereotypes with service and community outreach.
NewsLink Indiana Celia Lavoie has the story.
We're called Road Riders, and I think this is probably our 4th year with the trunk or treat.
Bikers.
It ain't cold.
They're supposed to be tough.
Happy Halloween, guys.
And maybe even rough.
You want one of them?
But the Muncie Road Riders aren't your average group of bikers.
We're just trying to put a good face on a motorcycle club.
We have a soft side.
That is adorable. That's our baby.
For helping their community.
Any kind of charity thing going on, we're usually part of it.
The Boys and Girls Club of Muncie has hosted the event for 5 years.
I love it. And the Boys and Girls Club, they're always doing things in Muncie and being supportive of the locals. And I like that the kids have one place they can come without running around the neighborhood.
It's a safe place for kids to come in, trunk or treat, have fun with their friends, and it's just a safe environment for them to be here today.
But not safe from Mother Nature.
Cold, wet.
Even if it's raining, it meant a lot to the kids.
It's cold, but you know, we're here for the kids.
We just prefer it not to be this rainy.
And despite the dismal weather,
We ran out with the 3 big bags, so we just went and got more.
nothing can come between kids.
Come here, here, I got some for you.
Here, come here. And candy. In Muncie, Celia Lavoie, NewsLink, Indiana.
Now, more than 400 people came out to the event Friday, and the best part about that is more than 300 of those people were kids. All right, Kaylee, let's get one final look at the weather.
Yeah, well, it won't be as rainy tomorrow for Halloween. We'll continue to stay dry, but we'll be pretty chilly. So we'll be in the 40s, partly cloudy skies, so a great day to get outside. Just may want to bundle up the kiddos a little bit more. Wednesday, high of 50 degrees with a 30% chance of rain. That's in the evening, so Wednesday stays mostly dry. 70% chance, though, on Thursday, so definitely want to grab the umbrella there. High of 63 degrees. We stay in the upper 50s for Friday with continuing rain chances through Saturday. And daylight savings time is on Sunday, so definitely put the clocks back an hour, but we'll still be a little bit warmer though than the 44 degrees that we're going to see tomorrow.
Well, we'll enjoy those warm temperatures, Kaylee. Thank you. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Check out tonight's trending stories on ballstatedaily.com, and be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night and happy Halloween.